Except instead of instead of you being at like a restaurant, it's just you're climbing a tower with
You're
suction cups.
sv.hash.
Why my tower? Why
Tower!
not your tower?
Tower! The twin tower!
Hey guys, I'm the Emerald Ouija, and this is a devlog video I'm making. Well, really not a devlog, but sort of the process of how I made a game called Suction Cup Man VR. Now, this game is out now. You can download it in the description. Right here, you're going to see this is the inspiration I had. It's a 3D animation of Suction Cup Man. And in the comments of this video, I'll put some screenshots up now. But basically, someone wrote in the comments, they said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if someone actually made a VR game about Suction Cup Man? And the creator of the video said, you know what, I would buy that. And then I somewhat jokingly said, I kind of want to make that now. And then the creator of the video replied to my comment saying, do it, I will support. And so I was like, you know what, why not? I'm kind of bored, want to do a little side project. And so I made Suction Cup Man in VR. If you want to just play the game now, you can download it in the description. But if you want to see like my process of making it, that's what the rest of this video is going to be for. It's not going to be a trailer this time. It's just going to be a sort of devlog. So what you're seeing right now is the template that I used to make Suction Cup Man in VR. It's my own custom template that I use for pretty much all of my games. It just makes it really easy so I don't have to start from scratch. And everything will have the same controls, physics, all of that. And it's easily changeable if I want to change it. But yeah, this is what it first looked like. And so what I've basically done here is what I usually do when I'm making a game is all this stuff you see is usually just for testing purposes, other than just all those colorful squares, because that's the pause screen. And so what I do here is I just pretty much delete everything I don't need, because I don't really need all the testing stuff. And so here it all goes bye-bye. And originally I kept that little platform there, and then at this point it was time to build the tower that you climb. So here is like either the next day or a few days after. Basically, I made one layer of the tower, and then I copy and pasted it all the way up to the top here. And basically, there is an opening that you can find where you can actually, well, towards the end of the development, I made it so that's where you can have a little Easter egg, where you see Guy Business, and it's the whole part of Suction Cup Man where he's like, hey, stop climbing my tower with suction cups, and all that. Yeah, there's the window right there. And so, yeah, at this point, I had the tower done, and it was pretty much time to make the climbing mechanic. Now, unfortunately, I do not have any footage of me actually testing this game in VR because it all broke. But, yeah, to put it simply, the player got launched. And, yeah, I was able to fix it, but for the first few tests, every time I was trying to, like, mess around with climbing, occasionally the player would just start to fly, and just fly really far away. But then I was able to fix it. And at this point, I added some obstacles. Here, you see these two little cleaning platforms. These are supposed to be those little things that people stand on whenever they're cleaning windows on skyscrapers. And there's only two here, but in the final game, there's a bunch of them. And pretty much what you can do is you can, like, climb past them, or you can sit on top of them and take a break. You can do that. I didn't stop players from doing that. And so, the other obstacle, which you can't see, is slippery windows. So, some of the windows become brighter, like a brighter shade of blue. And, basically, it's random, which is why you can't see it, because it happens on runtime. And so, if you were to grab onto the windows, then you just slide off. Now, these did have a bug similar to when the player got launched, but I was able to fix that. I was able to fix that as well. It's because I was trying to give the player some velocity while they were going on slippery windows. When to make them feel slippery, you just don't give the player any sort of velocity. Here, I'm just showing some progress on the little window where the guy business Easter egg is going to be. And yeah, at this point, it was time for the background. So here, the background has changed to a solid color. And at this point, I was making some little clouds, just to kind of make it feel like you're going really high up. So I found a cloud texture, and I pretty much, at first it was going to be a mesh instance, but then I decided to turn it into a Sprite 3D, just so it's, just because I find Sprite 3D is a little easier to use. So yeah, here's that cloud texture, and for simplicity, all I did to make it face the player was enable the thing called Billboard, which does that. The only real game I can think of that does something like this is old 3D games as well as Baldi's Basics. Originally, as you can see, they were gonna be shaded, so that like if they were facing away from the sun, oh I'm yawning. If they would face away from the sun, they would be darker, and if they faced towards the sun, they would be brighter. Now, originally I decided to do that, but then I decided against it because it looked a little weird. And so, yeah, I pretty much just, at some point I set it to unshaded, and then I decided to place them all above the, all sort of towards the top of the skyscraper. At this point, I decided to work on the parking lot and the road. Now, I didn't really have anything to use for, like, inspiration, other than the, video, the original Suction Cup Man video. And so here, I was pretty much trying to get the sort of parking lot area there, and so I tried to basically recreate that. I was too lazy to make cars, and so I just made the parking lot area without the cars. But yeah, for anyone who uses Godot editor and you want to like make really simple models, one thing I really suggest is this thing called Ply Editor. It pretty much just adds a bunch of Blender style things, and yeah, I'm not the one who made Ply Editor, but it's just a really nice plugin if you're a developer in Godot like I am. I mean, without Ply Editor, this game probably wouldn't exist. So yeah, definitely check it out. But yeah, once I was finished with the little parking lot area, it was time to make some terrain, which, as you can see, I've already made it at this point. And yeah, I was trying to make sort of a little green area similar to the grass I made down at the bottom. Now, originally it was going to be shaded as well, but then I decided against it because then it kind of blends in with the grass I put at the parking lot area. And so, yeah, at this point, I pretty much just needed to add a bunch of buildings and then actually start working on the game code itself. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any footage of me using the buildings and placing them in, but yeah, here you can see what all those buildings look like. I used a little script that would basically offset them by a little bit each time, and it was random. So there's a lot of randomness in this game, which is where the buildings were, and also which windows were basically slippery. That's the word. But yeah, here I like to use this website called Trello to basically, like, organize my games into what I've made, what I have planned, and all that good stuff. But yeah, at this point, you can see I have all of the, the platforms. And it wasn't until later when I added the actual Easter egg, because like I was mainly focused on the actual like climbing mechanic here. So then it was time for some audio. What I ended up doing in the end was I took the original audio from Suction Cup Man and I split it into two parts. The first part was with Guy Business, where the whole part where he's like, "Hey, stop climbing my tower with suction cups," and then the second part was with the cops. And so what I did is I made two versions of both of those, so there was four in total. So there was Guy Business, there was a clean and non-clean version. Non-clean meaning there is swearing. And then there's a version with the cops, which is the same thing. There's a clean version and a non-clean version. And yeah, at this point, I wanted to do this cool little thing where I would basically cut out all of Suction Cup Man's lines, just so that like the player could voice act as Suction Cup Man. And I thought it would be pretty funny as well if just like if it almost sounds like all the characters are talking to themselves, because it kind of sounds like that. But yeah, this was me getting all that audio done. Originally, it was just going to be complete silence, but then I just added like the background ambience, and yeah, it turned out really well. So then it was time for the music, and here I was just experimenting with it, and what would sound good with what would sound good for Suction Cup Man. Sorry, I have a bit of hiccups. But yeah, this was probably the part I got done the quickest, because I just threw together a bunch of instruments into a final song, which I will play right now. And yeah, that's the song that plays. And if you're wondering where, if you haven't already played the game yet, this is when you're being chased by the cops. Now, in the original game, well, not original game, but the original video, the original Suction Cup Man video, what happens is the cops say, "Take him down," and then Suction Cup Man just falls to the ground. But that I didn't want it to end like that. And so what I decided to do is make a little chase sequence where you are now dodging bullets on your way up to the top of the tower. And I thought, you know what? I will make a little song that will play. And that's that song you just heard. And yeah, at this point, it was really just a matter of putting everything together. And put everything together I did. This is going to be a bit of a quicker one, a quicker segment, because it's a little late and I want to get this done. So basically, here I am working on the gun mechanic. So every so often, a window will have this little red dot that appears on their window, and then it uses a particle to just make it look like the window's been shot. And this is just me working on that. But yeah, first thing I did after I made the music was make the gunshot. And of course, after that, around this time, I actually was using screen mode to test the game instead of VR, just so I didn't have to keep taking on and off the headset. But yeah, at this point, you can see that the slippery windows are brighter. Those brighter windows are the slippery ones. And the little window now actually had everything working. Now, you might be wondering why I'm just sitting there. That's because I made it so you actually have to hear the whole audio of the cop encounter before it actually lets you go up. Now here, it's showing a bunch of the, here it just showed a bunch of the gunshots, and you also saw that if you got hit by one, it would reset the game and bring you all the way back down to the bottom. So yeah, that was the gunshots working, and at that point, it was really just getting everything bug fixed and all that. And yeah, once it was all done, it turned out looking like this. I just finished actually recording this gameplay for you. But yeah, this is Suction Cup Man VR. I just finished making it as of May 16th. And once this video comes out, you'll also be able to download it. And I'll put a link to my itch.io page once I do. And yeah. And if you were wondering, my Fantastic Fox Simulator trailer, it said that big things are coming, and it played a little song. That is not this game. This is just a little side project that I wanted to make, because it's just a little something I wanted to make. Now I'm going to start working on that big project that I teased in Fantastic Fox Simulator. So, yeah, I'm just going to let the rest of this play out. This is just some gameplay of me playing Suction Cup Man VR. And, yeah, this is probably my first video that's longer than 10 minutes. It's actually almost 20 minutes long. And so, yeah, I'll just let the rest of this video play out. But yeah, make sure to stay tuned for the big project. And I just turned off clean dialogue, so be prepared for swearing ahead. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Hey, stop climbing my tower with suction cups! Why my tower? You're smudging my windows, asshole!
Look at me go!
Go suction cup someone else's tower!
That sounds very suggestive.
Suck my dick! Get off my tower!
What, you gay?
It's an expression! Get the fuck off my tower! Fuck you! What's your name?
Suction cup man!
My ass! What's your name?
No, suction cup man, look at me go!
Get off my goddamn tower this instant!
I can't!
Why the hell not?
Can't go down, so I can only go up!
What?
I gotta reach the top and right back down!
You can't just turn around?
Of course I can! What are you, stupid?
Can't be that hard!
I don't see you climbing a fucking tower with suction cups!
Give me a minute!
What are you doing?
I have plungers!
Oh, this is getting real!
I'm coming for you, bitch!
You are going to kill yourself!
Fuck you, watch me! Fuck you, I didn't become a billionaire by being an idiot! I have 4 degrees already!
Guys, get the fuck down! This is illegal! Fuck you! Fuck you! What? Take him down.